What if I told you that Nashville, Tennessee, at one time had its own amusement park, and for 25 years it remained open and brought summer fun to visitors from all over the world, myself included. Then, in 1997, the screams of joy and laughter from the thrill of the amusement park would forever be silenced. The park would unexpectedly close, and in 2000, a mall was built in its place. But then, what if I told you that since the days of the amusement park, a shadowy figure has been seen roaming the park, and some believe it is the spirit of one of the former landowners? Welcome to Ghosts of Tennessee, and this is the haunted Opry Mills Mall and Opryland Hotel.
Blast us with the weapons of light. Deliver us from nocturnal fears and from everything that lurks against us by night. Grant us rest for the renewal of our weakness, and us free from every diabolical fantasy.
Ghosts of Tennessee.
The site of what is now the Opry Mills Mall and the adjacent Opryland Hotel was once owned by the McGavick family. Their home, Two Rivers Mansion, named for its location between the Cumberland and Stones Rivers, was constructed in 1859 for David H. McGavick and his new wife, William Willie Elizabeth Harding. David purchased surrounding properties until eventually his farm came to be a total of 1,100 acres. Their son Frank inherited the home and the surrounding land in the 1890s. But during the Panic of 1893, which was one of the most severe financial crises in the history of the United States, Frank almost went bankrupt. And to make sure he didn't lose the property, he passed it on to his only son, Spence, who leased it while working as a shoe salesman. Spence married Mary Louise Bransford, and the couple set about making changes to the structure. They modernized their home by adding plumbing and electricity for comfort. But they would only remain in the house for 4 years. After the couple moved to Melrose, Tennessee, where Mary Louise was from, the mansion was in the hands of a caretaker. 2 decades later, in 1954, Mary Louise returned to the house, claiming that living there was the happiest time in her life. She remained at Two Rivers until her death in 1965 and was the last member of the family to ever live in the home. Two Rivers is now used as a venue, and some staff claim that after they have locked up for the night, they've seen lights flicker and bright orbs floating around inside the house. They also report that the chandelier in the house will begin to sway for no apparent reason, and then, just as suddenly as it began, it will stop. And still others have also spotted the former lady of the house, still carrying on as if she never left. Directly behind Two Rivers Mansion is the 1802 house. It is one of the oldest houses in Nashville, and David McGavick and his wife Willie would live here during construction of Two Rivers. And it seems the spirits like to roam it as well. On one occasion, a bride was getting ready for her big day, and she had retrieved something from her car and was running back inside when the photographer decided to snap a photo, capturing the 1802 house in the background. It was closed off to anyone that day, but someone was watching from one of the windows. There's also a ghost dog that roams the property who looks eerily similar to one of Spence's dogs. He appears out of nowhere, and just as quickly as appears, he disappears. But when the staff is asked about him, they all deny that anyone there has a dog, and pictures have even been taken of him. According to Alan Searcy, author of Southern Ghost Stories, Mrs. McGavick left the land next to the Cumberland River to her church, and she asked for the land to be used as an orphanage or for a school. However, her final wishes were not respected. WSM bought it and built a theme park. That theme park was Opryland, USA. and for more than 2 decades, it was one of Nashville's most famous attractions. Its gates opened on May 27th, 1972, but almost immediately, people started seeing an old lady walking around at night. They would see her near the gazebos, near the rides, and she even chased some people. And for years, during the amusement park's operations, reports would continue. Then, on November 4th, 1977, the Opryland Hotel opened on land adjacent to the amusement park. Originally built to support the Grand Ole Opry, which had moved to the area 3 years before, it soon became one of the premier hotels in the area. But before long, rumors began to circulate, not only with the staff, but with guests alike. One of the most active spots in the hotel is the Magnolia lobby. It was designed to resemble a Southern-style mansion, complete with an ornate chandelier. Black Lady causes the chandelier lights to flicker and inexplicably sway back and forth. She has also heard moaning and pain in dark corners. And guests have reported her ghost appearing in the elevator, only to disappear just as the doors close. Even more chilling though, she's been known to whisper in people's ears as they sleep. Then, much to the dismay of local Nashvillians, 1997 would bring the closing of Opryland USA. And on May 12, 2000, Opry Mills Mall would open. Workers in the mall claimed to have seen and heard the lady in black. Objects will be moved, stores will have merchandise scattered across the floor when they open, even though the store was clean upon closing. Then, very recently, a mom and her 2 kids went to see a movie at the theater at Opry Mills Mall. They were the only ones in the theater at the time, so the mother took the opportunity and snapped a selfie. When she looked at her picture, this is what she saw. There, in the background, is the image of what appears to be a woman in black. So what do you think? Do you think the grounds of the former Opryland USA theme park and the Opryland Hotel are haunted? Does the spirit of Mrs. McGavick still walk what used to be her family property? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this, give me a like, follow, and a share. I hope you enjoyed it.